What's going on YouTube? Reaper Online here, and I'm bringing you another video. This video is for Scum once again. Today we're going to make a short little video. I'm going to go over the BCU monitoring area of your character, go over the things that you absolutely need to focus on, other stuff that I currently haven't found useful, some things I don't know, but the majority is just keep your eye on these few key objects inside the BCU, and you should be good. So before I get started into that, if you look straight ahead, you will see a mech. These are bad guys. They are equipped with heavy weaponry. I would advise not shooting at them unless you have a good amount of ammo. And also, this is my pet watermelon, Tim. With that out of the way, I'm going to open up my inventory and we're going to get started. Now, in case you haven't figured out how to open up your inventory, hit tab. Make your way over to Metabolism. Alright, so we're going to start on the left-hand side. Like I said, some of these things I know, some of them I don't. So on and so forth. So the top one right here is your heart rate. Not sure what this one is. Not sure what this one is. This is your lungs. This is the temperature outside. Now, obviously, everything's looking really smooth, so you don't need to know 100% what these are. They're looking smooth, so you don't have to worry about it. When they start messing up, like start going crazy, then you should probably be a little worried. But anyway, we're going to go down to our first category. Now, these are your categories where basically your skills. So the more you use them, the better you become with them. As you see, my boxing's at 36% out of 100. Rifles is 12. Melee weapons is 0. Handgun is 15. And if you go to these, it's the same thing. My running, I've been running a lot, so I'm at 92%. Endurance is 41. Resistance is 7. My stealth is at 53. That's basically used from crouching. And your intelligence is same thing. You know, everything you use, the more you use it, you become better at it. So that's really not important. I mean, it's important, but it's not important in order for you to survive. That's just keeping a track of how you're doing. The next things is what you kind of really have to worry about. Obviously, the next one is the BCU body monitor. Age is how old you are. Teeth number. I have all my teeth. Now, if you start losing teeth, it actually makes it harder for you to chew your food. So I advise you to try to keep your teeth. Next is the temperature deviation, your blood volume, and minimum blood volume. Now, obviously this is what my blood's at. I'm guessing the minimum blood volume is what I need to sustain my life. I'm guessing if I go below that, I will die. I haven't tested that out yet. Luckily, I didn't have to. This is your weight. Pretty self-explanatory. Your body fat percentage, mine is at 5.5. And my storage fat is at 0.5. So my dude's pretty lean for the most part. Alright, and then underneath the BCU body monitor, your sickness will appear. This is where you will see if you're hungry, if you have an infection, you're thirsty. Anything that's important is right underneath here. And you definitely want to check this from time to time because, you know, especially if you're playing the game and you encounter like zombies or something and you're not, you know, you're just not paying attention to what's popping up on your screen. This will help you keep track of what's going on. Alright, down here is your BCU performance monitor. Once again, it's pretty self-explanatory. Your current pace, I'm not moving, so I'm idle. My walk speed is at a 6 out of 6. My maximum speed, rather. Jog speed is 13.8. My run speed is 25.1. My gear weight, now, I'm at 25%. My total gear weight that my character can handle is 60 kilograms. So you want to keep an eye on that. Obviously, the more weight you have on you, the harder put your character to work. And that will end up burning more calories, and you have to keep an eye on that because yesterday when I was playing, I wasn't keeping an eye on my nutrition monitor in the top right over here. We'll get to that in a minute. And I started to lose my energy, and I was freaking out because I know what was going to happen. But we'll get to that in a minute. Alright, so gear weight you want to pay attention to, your weight load 100%. These, I have no idea what they are. I haven't really needed to look at that. So it could be important, could not be. I don't think so because it hasn't really changed that much. Alright, your performance stats. Once again, it's kind of the same thing as up here. It tells you how much, you know, what kind of a bonus you get for the most part. My melee damage, I have 136% because I've been using some of it. Obviously, with a knife, I've been stabbing zombies, so that's going to increase. The other stuff I haven't really used too much in order to gain a bonus yet. Next is your skill modifiers. Once again, self-explanatory. My total health points, I'm gonna start from the right side. My total health points is 120. That's with the extra gear I have. I have no resist to poison. My holding breath is normal. My calorie consumption is 88. My water consumption is 125. Now let me just double check that calorie consumption. Wanted to see if they corresponded with over here. Okay, they did. Alright, anyway. So my stamina change, you got your stamina recovery, that's how quick you recover stamina. Your stamina consumption's the same, mine's default 100%. And my speed is 115 because I've been using, obviously, jogging and running. So that's it for the left-hand side. Like I said, it's all pretty self-explanatory. You don't need to be a rocket scientist or even Google this stuff. Most of it is, like, okay, well, makes sense. So make sure you just keep your eye in. This is, out of this whole area, the most important spot to keep your eye on is your sickness. This stuff is just what increases on zone for the most part. I mean, in your weight, you could probably keep an eye on your weight as well. But your sickness, that, like I said before, that'll tell you if you are hungry, thirsty, if you have an infection, or anything like that. Alright, right-hand side. This is your nutrition monitor. This is important. Now, before I even get into anything else, these are the 4 you want to definitely focus on. These are the main 4 that will make or break you. You want to make sure, obviously, these are in the green. If you can't, it's fine. Mine's in yellow, and I've been doing decently well. This is your protein, and it'll tell you what your max that you should have and what you currently have. Same thing goes for all these other ones. Now, when I said before, when I was losing energy yesterday, these were all red, and this was at 21. You want to make sure you can, you want to put everything into the green as best you can. Now, up here is obviously your calorie intake. This is exactly how much calories I have in my system right now. I have 2,800, and I burn 2,200. Meaning, if I don't want to lose any weight and I want to keep exactly where I'm at, I need to have this or above at all times. So we're going to move down. This is what my calorie balance is. Makes sense? That's what I got. My intake, this is what I currently have, I believe, because it's still breaking down. My calorie usage, that's right up here. I use that. And I believe the calorie intake is what you need to, as I said before, what you need to maintain an even level. I haven't found a need for these yet. My water intake, water balance. Basically it should be, yep, it's right this. So your water balance is what you have, and then your total is this. So I'm actually over, which isn't too bad. You don't want to go over too much because then you either have to use the bathroom a lot. If you end up eating a lot more, then you end up having to pee on the floor, and you don't want to do that. But like I said, these are pretty self-explanatory usage. This is what I use. This is what I have for an intake. And then you see that slowly climbing because it's still processing, I believe. This is your balance. Same thing as these. So once again, these you really don't need to look at that much because you can just look up here. This is the main one you want to worry about. Okay, well I got this, and then you want to see what your intake is. So you just want to make sure you have more calories than you have more intake calories than you have usage. Alright, with that, moving down, this is just your vitamin list. Obviously you want to keep these in the green if possible. Your minerals, same thing, you want to have everything in the green. And your BCU digestion monitor. Now, every time you eat something or drink something, it actually will appear down here, and I'll show you real quick. Let me go ahead and just eat this. It'll show you how long it'll take to digest. Now, I just ate some. Now you can see down here the watermelon. It's at 99%. And you can see I'm slowly digesting this. So I'm at 1500 and it started at 1558. Here will also show you your stomach volume. Now if you go past this, your character will get sick and end up throwing up. Your intestine volume. I'm assuming if you keep eating or whatnot, it might have an effect with this. Your colon, if you got poop. Your bladder, obviously you fill it up, you gotta take a pee. You gotta take a pee-pee. And like I said, this is breaking it down. So this is all very self-explanatory, like I said before, throughout this whole video. It's not really difficult to pay attention to. Just the main things you want to keep your eye on is sickness, your 4 areas here: protein, carbs, water, sugar. These are the 4 you want to pay attention to the most. And you want to make sure your calorie usage is lower than your calorie intake. So obviously you want to make sure that you have enough calories so you don't end up starving. Well, guys, I hope this was informational for you. I hope it helps you, give you a little insight in this BCU monitor. Now, obviously, I may have had one or two things wrong, but I don't think so. Like I said, the most important things you want to look for are those areas I showed you. Everything else is more kind of just like informational to keep your eye on. But other than that, hope you guys are enjoying this game. I know